Hello, we're at Tuesday Home Daily Bible Reading, Justice for Gentile Believers, Acts 15:10 through 17. So now we're still talking about justice. We're talking about the Gentile believers. Paul has gone to Jerusalem and he is talking to the church that is there. The disciples are saying, should the Gentiles be allowed in? Should they know Christ? And all kinds of things like that. And so Paul has to basically take them to task. When we get to verse 10 out of chapter 15:10 through 17, Paul says, now therefore, why tempt God to put a yoke upon the neck of the disciples, which neither our fathers nor we were able to bear? So he's telling them that this is a yoke. If you say that everybody has to go and everybody has to be this and everybody has to do this and they have to follow after the laws and they have to do all of the things that we were supposed to do as Jews, it was a yoke about our neck. We couldn't get it done. We could not do it. Paul speaks to them and he talks to them about grace. He says, but we believe that through the grace of the Lord Jesus Christ, we shall be saved, and the Gentiles can be too. And then during that discourse, the multitude kept silent and gave audience to Barnabas and Paul, who were already going to the Gentiles, declaring what miracles and wonders God had wrought among the Gentiles. So Paul tells them this miracle has happened, and this miracle has happened, and this miracle has happened because of the grace of God. Then and after they held their peace, James answered. James, now one of the disciples, one of the apostles, answered, saying, men and brethren, hearken unto me. Simeon had declared how God at first did visit the Gentiles to take out of them a people of his name. And to this agree the words of the prophets, as it is written, after this I will return, and I will build again the tabernacle of David, which is fallen down, and I will build again the ruins thereof, and I will set it up, that the residue of the men might seek after the Lord, and all the Gentiles upon whom my name is called, saith the Lord, who knoweth these things. So James goes back and reiterates that even in the Old Testament, even in the prophets that they read, even in all of that God is calling the Gentiles out. If we go through the red line of redemption, we see how they find Rahab the harlot. She is a harlot, and she is in the area of Jericho, and how she is brought in. And when we go to Hebrews, we see her name in the hall of faith. And then we go to Ruth, and how Ruth was a Moabitess, which the Jews hated. And when we go there, we see how Ruth was brought in and is the grandmother of David. And, you can go all down the line and you can see when Jesus even came in the New Testament, in the Gospels, each of these New Testament deals that he's talking about, each of the times that he's talking, he talks to many of the times that he's talking, he talks to Gentiles, and he says, I have not seen so great a faith in all of Israel. And there's a lady that comes to him and says, oh, but even the dogs get the crumbs. And he says, I have not seen so great a faith. He talks to the Samaritan woman. So there is a place for the Gentiles, and it is by the grace of God that we are saved through faith. Acts 15:10 through 17, justice for Gentile believers. God bless.